Okay. I think good. Yeah.
4th of June, Rabbi Furst, Pirkei Avos.
Okay. All right. Bez Hashem, we're going to finish up the Mesilas Yesharim. I'm just going to put it on the screen now. Remember, we're holding the last paragraph. This is the advice that the Ramchal, the Mesilas Yesharim, gives for people in terms of searching out their way in life, in terms of making hishtadlis, uh, and also their um, way to fulfill their spiritual requirements in this world as well. So let's see here.
Wow, Meir, you look good.
Yeah, I got one haircut.
Yeah, at least one.
Uh,
Rabbi, I have to go somewhere at 10. So
Okay,
I'll leave the recording on when I leave.
good.
But I
Okay,
won't be here.
fine. Okay. Um, let's see. I'm just trying to find the uh, file to put it on the screen. Okay. Uh, no, don't have it here. Where is it? Okay. Where is it? Okay. Um, and if anyone has a safer in front of them, they can start reading from it. But I'm gonna have to put it up again. Let's see here.
I have it. Um,
Good.
so let's see where we were. I think we were up here where it says Huma
Right.
She'amar David Hamelech Alav Ha Shalom. This is what was stated by David Hamelech.
Right.
Ki lo mi motza u mi rav velo mi midbar harim. Let's see. Because it was not brought out uh, in the evening, uh, and it was not from the wilderness of the mountain. Let's see, what does it say? Not from the east or the west, and not from the wilderness comes uplifting. Boy, I got that wrong. Ki Elohim show fate zeh yashpil v'zeh yarim. Um, because Hashem puts down this one and lifts up this one.
Right. This is the point that he's making. These things come as a result of Kadosh Baruch Hu's actions. Okay.
Ushlomo Hamelech Alav Hashalom Amar, Shlomo Melech, peace be upon him, said, Al Tiga Shir mi bin nascha chadal. Do not worry yourself to become rich. Ella haderech ha'amiti hu darkam shel ha'chasidim harishonim. Rather, the way
you should adapt the method of the Hasidim Rishonim. You should adopt the methodology of the earlier righteous ones.
Osim Torasav Ikar Umelachtan Tefela. They did the Torah basically
They made the Torah primary. They made the Torah primary.
They made the Torah primary and the work secondary.
Right. And the work secondary. Now, so this is the advice of the Mesilas Yesharim. Let's continue on.
I'm sorry, v'zeh nis kayem b'yadam.
And so this and this, meaning their Torah and their livelihood, will be mitkayem, would be sustained through their efforts.
Ki chevan she'asa adam kitzas b'lacha. When there is
since Kavan, because Shas Adam Kitzas Malachim, when a person is going to do a little bit of work, so you do a little bit of work.
Misham v'hal ein lo ella liv toach bikono v'lo lehitz ta air al shum davar olami. From there and onwards, there's only leaf toach. I don't know leaf toach.
That's from the that is the from the same words, but tachon. Tachon leaf toach is a verb. He should have faith from that point onward. When he does a bit of work, right? He'll do a bit of work, right? From that point on, right? He's now to have faith. His faith takes over.
Okay. In his acquisitions?
Koino is a reference to a Kadosh Baruch Hu. Koino is the one who possesses him. Kinyanim are possessions, and to be koina, verb form is to possess. Koino is his possessor, meaning that's a reference to a Kadosh Baruch Hu.
Oh, his trust in his possessor. Velo lehis ta air. I don't know.
He should not be distressed.
Should not be distressed concerning anything in his world.
any mundane matter. Shum davar olumi, any mundane matter.
Any mundane matter.
No, matter, right? Any mundane matter.
Az tishaer, da'ato, penuya, v'libo, muchan, lecha sidus, ha'amiti, v'la avoda, ha'tamimah. Then he will know the inner meaning in his heart, and be prepared for saintliness, and Bahamiti, his bed.
No, true, Chasidus amiti, to true, from amiti, truthful, truthful piety. You'll now know, right? And he'll come to realize true piety.
And service, Tamima. Tamima is
Like perfect.
perfect.
Right.
Perfect.
So by following this advice of the Ramchal, right, that a person should make his Torah keva, meaning he should devote rove majority, right? Rove is the majority, and making it primary. His primary interest is Torah, and then he does malacha kitzas. He does a bit of work, and the rest he's therefore able now to have faith in a Kadosh Baruch Hu, and therefore that will allow him not to be troubled over any mundane matter, because he understands he's doing his best to serve a Kadosh Baruch Hu by learning Torah and fulfilling mitzvahs, and for the fact that he needs to devote certain amount of time to making a livelihood, so he does that in a minimal amount of way. Majority of his time and energies for Torah, right? And through that, faith in a Kadosh Baruch Hu, that his minimal efforts are also part of his program of fulfilling his spiritual obligations and his physical needs at the same time. So now he can free his mind, and he won't be troubled by anything mundane, and therefore he'll be able to achieve true piety and serve a Kadosh Baruch Hu in a pure manner. And so that's the formula. Now, unfortunately, though, I mean, not many people know about this formula, and primarily because they are influenced, as we say, by the poisonous atmosphere of the non-Jewish influences of our gullus that we live in and amongst the goyim, and they don't have any such opportunity. They don't have any such faith in the Kadosh Baruch Hu, so they have to prepare for long and lengthy and extensive careers, and have to spend tremendous amounts of energy, both mental and physical energies, and also financial energies, to prepare themselves for various careers or occupations. And they don't have this opportunity to trust in the Kadosh Baruch Hu the way we do. So, but nevertheless, we live amongst them, and their way of life, their way of thinking rubs off on us to a very great and harmful extent. So, so we're stuck because we are in many respects drowning in that poisonous atmosphere of the non-Jewish beliefs and attitudes. So therefore, even if people know this formula, even if they're going to try and put it into effect, right? It's still always a constant challenge that they need to fight against the tide of the society and culture that they live in. But that's what the Kadosh Baruch Hu decreed upon us. He wants us to go against the grain of society, go against the tide of the culture we live in, and still, nevertheless, have a faith in the Kadosh Baruch Hu, make our learning of Torah primary, and our interests and involvements in making living minimal. And with that, we should have success, and there is success. So that should be, I hopefully, the answer to your question was raised a couple of days ago.
Right. Yeah. It helps a little bit. I mean, basically, what I'm getting out of it a little bit different from what you just said. What I'm getting out of it is that you've got to do hishtadlus, and you've got to try and figure out what's the appropriate amount of hishtadlus to do, and that's almost impossible. So the best you can do is to look at the natural way of things and conform to that, and then back off your hishtadlus to whatever extent you feel that you can that you have the appropriate madrega to reduce the hishtadlus below what the natural way of things would seem to indicate, and therefore increase your involvement in Torah that way.
I mean, that's not really. I mean, you're kind of putting the cart before the horse. You have to make your commitment to Torah primary. That's your first obligation. That's your first goal, and then you have to fit your hishtadlus in after that. Right? If you put your hishtadlus primary, so you're always going to be subservient to the needs and the desires of making the living, right? But you have to make the one and only goal that's primary is to preserve your Torah. That see, we unfortunately don't look at learning Torah as such a necessity, right? If we looked at Torah as learning as breathing, like if a person if a person had difficulty breathing, he would make it his highest priority above and all to get as much oxygen properly and as quickly as possible, right? So, but we don't look at unfortunately we're not brought up to realize the dire necessity of Torah for our lives. That was what Rabbi Akiva said, right? That when they made the gezeras, the decrees against learning Torah, so Rabbi Akiva used the mashal. He said, "What? We should now at this point, because they're making gezeras against Torah, we should leave Torah." That's like asking the fish to come out of water. The fish is worried that the fishermen are out after the fish. So you're suggesting that the fish, because he's afraid of the fishermen, should come out of the water? He's even worse shape if he comes out of the water. It's bad enough that the fishermen are after the fish when he's in the water, but if the fish would come out of the water, he'd be a dead fish quick. So we have to set our goals and our priorities based on the imminence and necessity of Torah above and beyond everything else, and then fit our necessities of mundane activity around that. So yeah, that's the proper attitude. Again, people need a lot of education in this area, and unfortunately, people don't have it um, for whatever reasons. But it's certainly an area which needs a lot of um, discussion and a lot of detail in understanding exactly what the obligations are and how to fulfill them. And each case is different. There's no one general rule, aside from what the Ramchal has told us about. But how it's applied, it depends on each and every individual, right? So that's something to discuss and try and analyze. Have to analyze his priest person has to analyze his own personal situation, and then discuss it with those who are capable of helping him make the decisions. Okay, fine. So I guess we can maybe start in the next section, the next document. Let me see if I can put that somewhere. Uh, yeah. Oh, here we go. Okay, let's put this on the screen as well. Oh, oh, perfect. All right, let's go to the next document, which I think you might have received a day or two ago. And it begins, yeah. Okay, Mishnah, actually, it's the Mishnayos in Perek Vav, which are Brises, Brisa number, hey, according to this, yeah. Yeah, who you want to continue on reading?
Yeah, thank you.
Sure.
Gedolah Torah Yoser min ha-kihuna umin ha-melachos sheha-melachos
Shema, Hamalchus, the kingship.
Hamalchus, kingship, Niknis, Nachnis, Bishaloshim, Me'alos, the excuse me,
Mm.
V'hachuna, V'hakahuna, V'asharim, V'arba, V'his, V'hatorah, Nis, Be'arba'im, Ushmona, Devarim, Betalmud, Bashamais. Let me try translating. Great is the Torah. Greater. The Torah is greater than the Kahuna, and then the kingship.
Kingship, monarchy, sovereignty, rulership.
What is Nachnis?
Malchus nickness, the Malchus sovereignty is nikris is acquired. Nickness is acquired.
Acquired. With 30 Milos, 30 attributes.
Yeah, that's good. Milus usually I like to translate Milus as virtues, but here it's not so appropriate virtues here, but I think attributes is good. That's good.
Attributes. V'hakahuna be be'esrim v'arba
And the kahuna, the priesthood is acquired with 24.
24. Okay. The Torah, and the Torah is acquired with 48 things. With the Talmud,
So now, this is going to be the beginning of the list of all these things that the Torah's Nicholas ban.
So there's like a colon after Devarim.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
Some
so
gears to say that Ve'elohim, these are them.
right. So the first one is Talmud, which I guess is what, oral law.
All right, we'll see about all that. You're going to try and explain all these things in brief.
Okay. B'shami as, I don't know.
Ha'ozim. But Shemias ha'ozim, listening with the ears.
Listening. V'ha vazan, v'ha listening with the ears.
Right.
Ba'arichas shifatim, and with shifatim is the lips.
Right.
Something with the lips.
This is what we would say this in England, like vocalization.
Vocalization. Bevinas halev, and what, dedication of the heart.
Right.
Bishchalos halev, bishchalos, I don't know.
It's like the also some don't have this girsa. Some have a different girsa. 1 minute. I think that's like with the evaluation of the heart, meaning with like analysis.
Be'ema Berura, with getting along with people.
No, aim is awe.
Oh, of awe of the creation. Be'enav bish micha bishmicha.
But you have a yira, that's fear, respect. Nava was humbleness. The simcha with joy.
Simcha, okay. Bishmos chachamim, with attending to wise people.
Right, shimush chachamim, right, like the tutelage by the sages, of the sages.
The dikduk, with analysis.
Chaverim, dikduk chaverim, meaning
Give and take with your friend.
yeah, but dikduk is a little bit different than that's pilpul. Pilpul is like the give and take. Pilpul is talmidim, and dikduk chaverim is the attentiveness to the words of his colleagues. Attentiveness to the words of his colleagues.
Attentiveness to his colleagues. Ubepilpul hatalmidim, and give and take with other students. Biyashov
Yishuv is like with a settled mind, with like to have a certain amount of tranquility of mind.
Settled mind, tranquil mind. The Mikra, uh, uh,
Mikra is like Tanakh. That's Tanakh.
scripture. Okay.
Right.
The Mishnah with Mishnah, which is oral law. B'mi'ut, uh, Shena, with limiting sleep. B'mi'ut sicha, limiting sicha is what? Joy?
Like conversation, seeker's conversation.
Conversation, limiting conversation. B'mi'ut ta'anug, limiting celebration.
Yeah, or tongue is like pleasure.
Limiting pleasure. B'mi'ut shchok, shchok.
Smoke is like levity.
Limiting levity. Mi'ut derech eretz, limiting marital relations.
Um, yeah, Derek. That's one of the definitions of Derek Eretz. Derek Eretz could also mean um, um, worldly involvements. Could be also like we was just discussing about making a living. Derek goes to something making a living, livelihood.
Worldly involvements. Be'orech apayim.
It's patience. Patience.
Patience. Belev tov, a good heart. Munas chachamim, with faith in the wise people. Uvekalus uvak valat hayo hayisorin hayisurin, with avoiding sin.
Well, no, that would be that would be with an olive. The Kabbalah is bearing suffering. Yisurim is suffering. Kabbalah Yisurim is bearing suffering.
Bearing suffering. Okay, that's all 48 of them.
No, that's a majority of them. The rest of the list is going to follow suit.
Okay, yeah, because I remember learning in Pirkei Avos, the last one was saying something over in the name of the person that said it.
Yeah, that's right. We'll get to that. That'll come up too.
Okay, let's see. Tiferes Yisrael. That's the next paragraph.
Right.
Bishloshim Milos, with 30 achievements.
Attributes, I think you said attributes.
Attributes we said before, yeah. 30 attributes. Malos gemuros she ha melech na'aleh bahar mishar ha'am. So what's gemuros?
Absolute. These are 30 absolute attributes that a king is a, set aside from the rest of the people. To be a king, he has to fulfill these 30 attributes that separate the king from the rest of the people.
Okay, Lamed is 30, Haim. The 31's 30 are. Now we're gonna go over the 30. Should I read the parentheses?
Well, it says the 30, the 30 are, and as it says, Kulam Minuyim Beperik base to center. They're all we're not going to go into it here, but they're all listed over there in the second paragraph, second chapter in the Gemara and Sanhedrin.
Oh, I see. Okay, and what is this Samech Zion? This is the paragraph number?
Yeah, that's all the Samics, and you'll see all these and with the parenthesis on the side of them. These are just the footnote references that you find in the Tiferes Yisrael to the on the Mishnayos.
Ah, okay, got it. Let's see. Be'esrim v'arba 24. V'ha uma'alos shehakohen na'aleh bahen. The attributes that the Kohen is I forgot what na'aleh is. No.
He's distinct above the rest of the people.
Above the rest of the people with them. Hain, they are 24 metanos kahuna, 24 gifts of the priesthood.
Right. As it says in the brackets, this car is so Parshas Korah. They all mentioned at the end of Parshas Korah.
Okay. Next, Ushmona Dvarim. And 30, no, Shmona, eight things.
But they left out the 40. It really should be Arba'im B'Shmona Devarim, 48 things.
Oh, 48. Okay, that makes more sense. Ma'alos shahiteach shahatach tzarich shehiyeh na'aleh bahem mishar ha'am. So these are attributes. What is this abbreviation?
Shetamach Chacham, Mal Shetamach Chacham Sorach Yanalim. These are the 48 attributes that separate a Talmud Chacham from the rest of the people.
Okay, from the rest of the people. And what's Memchet?
Memphis is 48.
Oh, 48 things. They are below Kiram Hatana Ma'olos. What's Kiram?
The Tana Hatana, meaning the one who wrote this brisa, Lo Koram Hatana Milos. The Tana did not call them Milos. We mentioned Kahuna, and we mentioned and Malchus. We mentioned that they were Milos, right? And here, if you notice, they're 48 Devarim.
Right, I noticed that difference.
So he's mentioning straight out that here the Tana did not mention by the Talmud Chacham 48 milas. He mentioned 48 things.
Okay. Midalo damo ahadadi legamre lehinach shel malchus v'kahuna. That it's not like What is Hadadi?
Together. They're not the Milo Damo Hadadi, they're not at all. Milo Damo Hadadi, they're not at all similar.
Similar at all.
The Hanach Shel Malchus and Kahuna, they're not similar at all to those of the Malchus and the Kahuna.
De Malchus the Kahuna Haim Zechios Umash Patim Umishpatim, that the kingship and the Kahuna, they are merits and laws.
Yeah, right, exactly. That by Malchus and Kuda there is zechuyos, like their merits and mishpatim and laws, right?
Okay. Shanik Nin Im, I'm sorry, Hamalchus the Kahuna. What is this word Nin?
They they are acquired along with the Malchus and the Kahuna, meaning the by the Kahuna, they're not prerequisites. Meaning these, as we said, they were matanas up for the Kahuna. But they're not prerequisites to being a Kohen. By a king also, they're not necessarily prerequisites to being a king.
Really? That's odd, because it says Torah is greater than Kahuna and kingship, because Kahuna has 24 and kingship has 30 and Torah has 48. Seems to imply that they're the same type of things. And now you're saying they're not.
Well, that's exactly why it was used the expression Milos by Kahuna and Milos by Kahuna and Malchus, but it was used Devarim by the Torah, meaning he's trying to teach you that don't think they're on the same level, right? He's not comparing things which are of equal standing. They're different categories, right? So that's why he changed the expression from Milos to Devarim. He should relay, he's flagging this for us to know at the very beginning that don't think this is not meant to make any exact type of comparison between them.
What is this abbreviation? Mem Shin Aleph Kaf?
So that the Masha Ain came. In contrast,
and what's the next abbreviation? Memchet?
Memchet, the 48 things.
48.
So Torah.
In contrast, the 48 things of Torah, they are obligations. She ha-rotzeh lizchus b'Torah, that they are needed in order to be meritorious of the Torah. Yikna osa over the sochar rock ayin yud she mir rasan karoi.
That he who wants, he who desires the to be privileged to Torah, yikna osam over the soicher, that they will be made available to him, right? Rak only al yedei shmiras and karoy, only if they're going to be observed properly.
So you have to observe all 48 in order to have the schus of Torah?
To be able to have that level of Torah, which is complete and perfect. Because again, if you remember the whole sixth parak here in Avos, is talking about Torah Lishma. Misha learns Torah Zochel Devar Maharbe. It's all connected back to that original statement of Rabbi Meir.
Right.
So okay, let's see. It's 5 to 10. So let's stop here and just make a note that we'll be starting with the footnote there, beginning with the connotation Samak Tes 69.
Okay, thank you, Rabbi.
Very good.
Thank you, Lou. Very good. Appreciate the meeting.
Shkaya, Lou.